Welcome to the podcast. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of AI and software development, particularly how tools like GitHub Copilot are transforming coding as we know it. Let's start with a thought. Imagine you're in a kitchen trying to whip up a complicated dish, but instead of sifting through dozens of recipes, you have a sous chef right by your side, suggesting steps, measuring ingredients, and maybe even creatively tweaking the recipe as you go. That's kind of what GitHub Copilot does for developers. It's like having an AI-powered assistant at your fingertips. So, let's unpack what GitHub Copilot brings to the table. Essentially, it's an AI-powered tool that helps developers write code faster and more efficiently. It suggests entire lines or blocks of code based on the context of what you're working on, which not only speeds up the coding process, but also sparks creativity. Can you imagine how many hours of trial and error it saves? Let's consider a scenario. Picture a developer stuck on a particularly tricky function. Instead of scrolling through forums or documentation for hours, they bring up Copilot, and voila, they see suggestions tailored directly to their problem. It's like having a buddy who knows everything about coding and is always willing to lend a hand. But is this all sunshine and rainbows? There are definitely questions around dependency on such tools. Will new developers struggle if they aren't learning the core principles of coding because they're always leaning on AI for help? It's an intriguing point because while tools like Copilot can enhance productivity, understanding the fundamentals is still crucial. Now let's take a deeper dive into the mechanics here. GitHub Copilot uses a large language model trained on public code repositories, meaning it has a vast knowledge base to pull from. This raises another interesting question. What does it mean for the future of coding and open source projects? If an AI can generate code snippets, how do we ensure quality, originality, and accountability in coding practices? Speaking of accountability, there's also an ethical conversation happening in tech circles. How do we handle intellectual property when AI can produce code that closely resembles existing code? For developers and companies alike, this is a pivotal point of discussion that we cannot overlook. But let's not get too bogged down in the serious stuff. Have you ever had one of those tech fails where things just don't work out as planned? Maybe Copilot could help avert some of that chaos. Like the time you accidentally deleted something crucial because you weren't paying attention. As we're nearing the end of today's discussion, it's clear that tools like GitHub Copilot are more than just coding aids. They represent a significant shift in how we think about software development. They save time, inspire creativity, and potentially reshape the tech landscape. So here's a thought to leave you with. As we embrace these advanced tools, how do we balance innovation with education in the coding world? And what's your take? Are you excited or apprehensive about the rise of AI in programming? Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this ever-evolving topic. Until next time, keep coding, keep questioning, and stay curious.